Wow, friends, this is crazy news. The United States government's debt has been downgraded. The announcement comes right after the highest interest rate hike in 20 years. Economists are warning that this could push up interest costs for the government and American taxpayers. So today, I'll be sharing with you what you need to know. So do make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community. My friends, I'll be announcing several winners tomorrow for the Walmart gift card giveaway. Please make sure that you enter these weekly giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dear friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
There are no battery-powered dump trucks. There are no battery-powered airplanes to fly people back and forth. Gasoline, fossil fuels are still the rule of the day in America. You're not going to get rid of oil and natural gas. The supply chain for getting materials to the job site is just not there. I can't get meters for housing. We've canceled more housing projects of developments because you can't get stuff. Time is money. And then you keep saying middle class, rich, middle class. I know a lot of people, if you look at their balance sheet, if you look at their net income, they choose to pay mortgage guarantee insurance because they have their equity tied up in other projects. So they choose to pay the mortgage guarantee insurance. It's risk-based. If you own a rental house and are wanting to sell it, you would want to self-finance, you would have a difference in rate for those who put down 20% or more versus those who put down 3%. It's just like Congressman Davidson said, it's risk-based, and it should be. If you self-financed, you would have to have a difference in the interest rate. Now, Maxine, you're not doubting that those with lower credit scores and lower down payments are paying less than those with higher scores and more down payments. You know, I mean, you're not disputing that, are you?
No, I'm only talking about those who are making less than a 20% down payment but had adequate credit scores. I'm not talking about anybody with lower credit scores. These are people who have the right amount of right credit scores, not people with less credit scores at all.
But
No.
So you're saying those with a higher credit score and more down payment are going to be paying the same, or going to be paying more than those with a less credit score and less down payment?
No, you take into consideration that there are fees that everybody pays. And when you are evaluated based on what your mortgage is and all other kinds of things, then you have a fee amount. But when you put on top of that the mortgage insurance, then those people who didn't have the 20% are paying more than those people who had 20% or more.
Why is that wrong?
Why is it wrong?
Yeah.
It is wrong because what you have is people who say that I've not been able, I can afford a mortgage every month, but I've not been able to save up 20%. And so I know I have to get mortgage insurance, and it's going to cost me some money to get it.
As it should.
And it's going to cost me so much money that when I add it to the other fees that you're charging me, I'm paying more for the interest rates than the person who had more money to pay down.
Fitch Ratings has just become the second of 3 major credit rating firms to remove its coveted AAA assessment of the United States government's credit worthiness. It is a move that spurred debate in Washington, D.C. about spending and tax policies. Fitch Ratings said its decision reflects the expected fiscal deterioration over the next 3 years, a growing general government debt burden, and the erosion of governance. The downgrade may have little impact on financial markets long term or on the interest rates that the United States government will pay. Fitch's move comes just weeks after the White House and Congress resolved a standoff on whether to raise the government's borrowing limit. An agreement reached in late May suspended the debt limit for 2 years and cut about $1.5 trillion in spending over the next decade. The agreement came after negotiations approach a cutoff date, after which Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen had warned the government would default on its debt. The Biden administration reacted angrily to the move. Yellen said this week, Fitch's flawed assessment is based on outdated data and fails to reflect improvements across a range of indicators that we've seen over the past 2 years and a half. But the president, former director of Congressional Budget Office, said that Fitch's decision was the right one, given that there are few efforts in Washington to address the government's long-standing budget deficit. Standard & Poor's removed its coveted AAA rating of U.S. debt in 2011 after a similar standoff over the borrowing limit. Many pension funds and other investment vehicles are required to only hold investments with high credit ratings. For example, if a city or state sees its credit rating fall too low, those investment funds would have to sell any holdings of those bonds. That would force the government issuing those bonds to pay a higher interest rate on its future bonds just to attract other investors. If that were to happen to U.S. Treasury securities, the federal government could be required to pay higher interest rates, which would push up interest costs for government and taxpayers. Few economists think that such an outcome will actually occur. Instead, they think Fitch's downgrade will have little impact. Today, Senator Joe Manchin called on his colleagues to take sorely needed budgetary steps to strengthen the U.S. economy. The West Virginia Democrat, a member of the Appropriations Committee, called the move a stark warning that cannot be ignored. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts about the current status of the U.S. economy? Please let me know in the comment section below. Millions are welcoming 3 months of savings during Tennessee's grocery tax holiday. However, most states do not tax groceries at all. Every state in the Mid-South taxes groceries. Arkansas has the lowest rate at 0.12%. Tennessee's grocery tax rate is 4%. Mississippi has the highest rate in the country at 8%. Many counties or cities in these states add local taxes as well. Many residents appreciate that Tennessee is one of the few states without an income tax. However, many shoppers wish the state would eliminate the grocery tax altogether. While there will not be a sales tax holiday in the state of Virginia this coming weekend, as there has been for the last several years, a top negotiator on the state budget said he's holding out hope one could still occur eventually. One lawmaker has said in a recent interview that if he can come to an agreement with Senate Democrats, he would look to have the sales tax holiday later in the year. The 3-day event that took place the first weekend in August for more than a decade had become quite popular. It allowed shoppers to buy school supplies, clothing, shoes, hurricane supplies, and Energy Star products without paying sales tax. It was included in last year's budget deal, and lawmakers are now signaling that could happen once again. Well, my beautiful and my most greatest friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Thursday. My dearest friends, thank you so much for joining me here and for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My dear friends, please make sure that you enter these weekly giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.